9,000 Needles is a documentary that happens to be very personal to me because my brother, when he was 40 years old, which was about 2 years ago, had a brainstem bleed, which caused a very devastating stroke. He was a very healthy guy, was in the gym, and had a stroke. And I guess what prompted the film was during the process of trying to really save his life and then also get him the therapy he would need to recover from such an injury, we ran into the same problems most families run into in America, which is dealing with insurance companies and what they will and won't cover. Devin was not uninsured. He was the vice president of the company and had what we would consider to be good insurance. But his limits were reached very quickly, and he was sent home right in the middle of a program where he was starting to make some progress. So he lives in Kentucky. When I flew there, we were trying to piece together a program in his home, and it just wasn't working. So I just was trying to figure out a way we could afford. It was going to cost like $200,000, for him to be in an inpatient program for 2 months if we were to pay for it out of our own pocket. So I had found a program online through the American Stroke Association, a story about a woman who had had the same kind of stroke. And she traveled to China to a hospital where they were integrating Eastern and Western medicine to treat stroke patients. So I just did tons of research, and then I went on this is about when I decided to do the documentary. Originally I did the documentary because I thought, well, maybe I can help raise some money, kind of pre-sell this idea and help him travel to China. The second reason was once the doctors in China gave me the okay to film, I figured they were going to give him really great treatment because we wouldn't have cameras in the room all the time. It was still kind of a big unknown. We didn't know really what it was going to be like. So, yeah. So I grabbed a guy because it was happening very quickly. I grabbed a friend of mine, Doug Busby, who's also a filmmaker, and the two of us didn't even have high-def cameras. We just had our two, Sony PDF 150s, and grabbed the two cameras and, all the gear we thought we could sneak into China, and followed my brother over there to start the documentary. People, the first thing I found in China is people were very compassionate and helpful. So they were really helping us out. Once we got there, we realized that the hospital kind of gave us permission to film, but not really officially. So we couldn't set up lights, and we couldn't have a sound guy. So it was real, guerrilla style filmmaking because, and as you'll see in the film, it's very kind of raw, and it was frustrating at first, but then we just said, well, let's embrace it. Let's just accept that and make that part of the style of the film. The second challenge was that I was also his brother. So while I was trying to make a documentary, I'm also trying to help my brother survive a devastating stroke. So there were times when, I had to physically be there to help him rather than filming. And so juggling that was a little bit of a challenge as well. We went back and forth about how much to delve into the insurance. I would say that Michael Moore kind of helped me because he had such a specific film about it that I think we were able to touch on the issues without diving into them too deeply because people now were familiar with them. And it's also been a very big, topic these days.
Yes.
So, and the other side of that point is that my brother and I couldn't be further apart on our political views. So, what I wanted to do? I kind of thought, here's this guy who lives in Central City, Kentucky, the Bible Belt of America. And I felt like, just my own personal opinion was if I could show his story, and if people could relate to him on a personal level and in a sense kind of fall in love with him and his family, then they might be even more outraged about insurance because this could be them or their sister or their brother or their mom or dad. So the issue was to touch on it and then move on to like a solution. And the absurdity of this film is the solution is he had to go all the way to China.